Good Monday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this gray Monday, but sunshine's on the way. And here we are marching through the month of March, March 9th, 2015. Mostly middle and high base clouds across the region this morning. Is a little bit of light rain that's moving through the area. And when I say light rain, I mean sprinkles here. Moving through the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, LaGuardia, Kennedy, and Newark. This is scooting rather quickly to the east. Temperatures this morning are all above freezing. All of them are now above freezing. Even in the Connecticut River Valley, actually, the interior portions of the Connecticut River Valley are where temperatures are at or below freezing, but everybody else is moderated on a southwesterly flow here, and temperatures are generally running in the mid to the upper 30s, in some cases right around 42 in Central Park and LaGuardia this morning. Cloudy skies will win out this morning, and sunshine will filter back into the region with rising heights during this afternoon. We have no watches, warnings, or advisories for land or sea this morning, and on the marine deck it's relatively quiet on the area of waters through tonight. The seas will remain at about 1 to 3 feet, and then around a foot or less on the Delaware Bay. Westerly winds gust up to 20 knots this afternoon. During Tuesday through Wednesday, winds and seas likely to remain below small craft advisory conditions with much milder air passing over the colder waters. Some dense fog might occur Tuesday night into Wednesday. On Wednesday night through Thursday, winds and seas should come closer to small craft advisories as the air mass is still relatively warm versus the water temperature, so maybe a limiting factor on that. Thursday night and Friday, greater uncertainty about some small craft advisory conditions as a general ramp up of winds and seas expected as the low pressure system approaches later on Friday. Morning surface chart from weatherrowandoak.com and digital atmosphere software shows the area of weak disturbance here moving across the region this morning with some very light rain showers exiting very rapidly and a lot more clearing taking place across the western zones this morning. It'll take a little while to get in here, but skies will be turned to sunshine as high pressure is in control over weather. And the next weather disturbance coming in on Tuesday with these disturbances here to the south along a cold front to the west. It means a little bit of light rain around here by Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. We stress the word rain. Morning pass of the satellite imagery this morning. The visible satellite shows our disturbance streaming rapidly to the east with broken ceilings behind it, and clear skies will give way during this afternoon as the temperatures warm up too, and that's good news. But this disturbance here down to the south, this Gulf of Mexico low in Texas and the Panhandle here, this little area here minoring out over the Carolinas here, will coalesce with a warm, cold front, warm front couplet by tomorrow, and that means more rain is on the way, but we stress the word rain and not snow. Things are calm on the aviational weather deck today, mainly VFR conditions expected across the terminals through tonight. Some light freezing rain or snow. This morning that's exiting already. And light winds will gradually pick up later this morning out of the west-southwest. Sustained winds generally at about 5 to 10 knots. 15 to 20 knots this afternoon. Winds will subside this evening, becoming light and variable tonight and overnight. Now for Tuesday through a Wednesday morning, MVFR ceilings and visibilities possible and some rain across the region. IFR conditions at times, especially at Wilmington, Millville, and Atlantic City. Late Wednesday through Thursday night, generally VFR conditions expected, and Friday ceilings and visibilities possibly lowering again in rain and or mixed precipitation. Northwest airports and terminals by the end of the day. Right now outside of Newark, New Jersey, not bad. 39 degrees, dew point 30, humidity 70%. The wind is southwest at 9, visibility 10, a little bit of light rain around the region. And for today, we're improving conditions with westerly winds picking up this afternoon with a few scattered clouds around the region. It's going to be a pretty nice looking afternoon out there and overnight as well. Now for Philadelphia right now this morning, 36, dew point 28, humidity 73, the wind is south at 3, overcast conditions, and basically a wind shift during this morning into the afternoon to our west, and a moderating trend in temperatures with scattered to broken ceilings across the region. We could get into a little bit of light rain showers early tomorrow morning as the disturbance heads in our direction from the southwest. NAM 4-kilometer cloud and precipitation type and mean sea level pressure. Here's our disturbance moving off the coast. Here's our area of clearing for this afternoon, and the clouds stream rapidly back into the region during the night and tomorrow morning. A few light sprinkles to our south and west, and then a period of light rain comes into the region with isentropic lift and our area of low pressure moving up from the southwest. And that will produce some very light rain around here with very mild temperatures during Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, and that will begin to suppress itself to the south and east during the day on Wednesday with very mild conditions on Wednesday. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, mild conditions across the entire forecast region with a lot more cloud cover, but still we'll take the mild temperatures for the melting of the snow. Speaking about those temperatures, they're already rising and they'll continue to do so into the 40s to around 50 in southern New Jersey during this afternoon. They'll drop back down into the 30s across the region, but above freezing in most metropolitan areas, major metropolitan areas like New York City, interior northeastern New Jersey, and the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And then tomorrow, they begin to soar once again back into the 40s, perhaps even lower 50s around the I-95 corridor. And by Wednesday afternoon, look at this. Temperatures basically running at or above 50 degrees for the first time in like forever, maybe the first time this entire year thus far, with temperatures approaching 60 degrees, not out of the question here around the central and southern New Jersey coast and the I-95 corridor on Wednesday afternoon. GFS maps into motion. Here comes the drying for this afternoon, and then our cloud cover increases again. Light rain moves across the terminals tomorrow afternoon and into early Wednesday morning, and then that moves out of here. Clouds will begin to break as high pressure begins to make its way across the Great Lakes and then into the eastern United States, eventually during the day on Wednesday, pushing all of this moisture down to the south along the frontal boundary. And then the high moves in across southeastern Canada. Earlier indications from earlier model runs last weekend, or this past weekend and late last week, indicated some cold air damming, but the situation looks like the high will begin to weaken, pull away to the north and east, and that allows the warm air transport at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere to work over. So any cold air that's in place here will be quickly eroded as the temperatures in the mid and upper levels warm rapidly. If we broke out with any light snow around here on Saturday, during Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, it would be in the form of some sleet or snow and then rapidly transition over to basically rain across the region. Now, the model run from this morning is indicating that this is still snow across interior sections on Saturday night and Sunday morning. And the 850 millibar warm air transport means that rain would be the predominant factor here, but we're going to continue to monitor this situation. I noticed that the microphone cut off, so we're just going to use the GEM model right now. This Canadian equivalent pretty much to the GFS, and the rain moves in across the region a little bit on Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon and pushes to the south, and that means drier air moving into the region. Here comes the warm air advection over the top of the cold dome retreating, so precipitation changing to primarily rain across the region, little sleet and ice pellets here on Saturday morning. Everything goes to rain. The moderate to heavy rain could be falling with impacts for flooding on over the snowpack that's already on the ground. And that moves through, and generally pretty benign weather coming up for the early part of next week. And of course, it's St. Patrick's Day right now. St. Patrick's Day looks pretty good at this point. Could be some precipitation around the region on Tuesday. Most of this from central and southern reaches here, and generally high pressure trying to build in across to the north, but it's going to be relatively mild during Tuesday for the St. Patrick's Day festivities and parade in New York City metro area, and most of the rain should stay to the south. We'll be monitoring that. And then colder air will begin to filter back into the region late next week, but it's marginally cold air. It's not the same kind of very cold air that we've seen from February, as the air masses are now changing, and more of a zonal flow is beginning to set up across the country, with the Arctic air masses retreating back into Canada, and basically polar and continental polar air masses are now beginning to take hold with the stronger sun angle of March. So that's a wrap for today. The sun's already coming up and coming out in the sky, and that means mild temperatures, and that means get outside and do something today. Finally, we can get outside. In fact, the last couple of days we've been able to do so. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Have a pleasant Monday. We'll be back in video form tomorrow morning.